Hello and welcome to Rosehead, the weekly West Ham video roundup that can't believe there's a bloke in the East End with a vuvuzela. My name's Gonzo and I'm from Hammers Chat, and I'm back with all the week's Hammers gossip in conjunction with Claret and Hugh. I'm going to split the show into two this week. I'll be doing one a little bit later on once the transfer window's closed, so I'll pretty much leave that subject to one side just for now and deal with the last few days' news. Well, the news that's really stood out for me is the curious tale of Reece Oxford. Now, the club had arranged for Reece to go on loan to Charlton Athletic to get a little bit of experience, and really because he wasn't featuring much at all for our own first team. It was arranged between the director of football and their various board members, yet when Oxford was on his way, their manager, a certain Jose Riga, never heard of him myself either, he decided that he didn't want Reece at the club. Apparently he'd never heard of the England under-17 captain, the starlet, the best young defender in English football. He'd never heard of him, so he sent him packing in a sort of humiliating fashion really, all the way back to West Ham. Now, I don't know if you've really been following much of the Championship this season, but Charlton are rooted to the bottom. They've conceded more goals than anybody else in the whole of the Championship. So you think if anybody needed a quality defender, it would be Charlton. But apparently not. So, do you know what, Reece? I think you're probably better off back home for the moment. Staying on the subject of Charlton, their supporters' trust have been kicking up a bit of a stink recently. You may well have noticed that the West Ham, and in particular West Ham's move to the Olympic Stadium, has been in the news an awful lot. Well, the reason for that is because the Charlton Supporters Trust have lobbied to have all the financial details of our deal with the Olympic Stadium made public. Why would Charlton be bothered about West Ham, I hear you ask? Well, it's their reasoning that if we are giving away cheaper tickets in East London, then it's really going to start to impact on the amount of fans they get in their ground, which is slightly condescending really, because they're basically suggesting because Hammers are doing cheap tickets, an Addicts fan is going to wake up one morning and say, well, you know what, I don't fancy supporting Charlton anymore, I'm going to go and be a West Ham fan. Well, as we all know, football fans don't really think like that, so I don't really know what's going on. What I do know is that last season in League One, Charlton were averaging 18,000 fans. This season, in the Championship, they're averaging 15,000. And only a couple of weeks ago, they played Bolton and only got 12,000 fans through the door. So I'd probably suggest if Charlton's attendances are down, it actually has nothing whatsoever to do with West Ham and probably everything to do with Charlton. On the injury front, well, you would have seen Carl Jenkinson hobble off against Manchester City. It's been confirmed by a scan that his ACL has gone and he will be out for 6 to 9 months. Now, he didn't have the best of form, Carl, and he's probably won't be seen in a West Ham shirt ever again, but he's gone back to Arsenal, although we still have to foot the bill for his fee, which is about 1.8 million for the season. Really, it's looking like a wise bit of business that we did bring Sam Byram in when we were able to, and as you'll have just seen, Joey O'Brien came back, and so he's acting as a good replacement now. Tompkins has got the gash on the top of the head, so we probably have at least 3 players now that can cover right back. Carroll, Lanzini and Sacco, they'll all be back in the next 2 weeks, which is great news, and that should really see us playing with pretty much a full strength squad. Testimonial news. Mark Noble's testimonial is on the 28th of March and all the proceeds from it go to a children's hospice. Now, games are fast running out at the Bowling, so if you're not going to be able to make it down for any of the league games or you've found that the tickets are a bit like gold dust, it's 20 quid to get in. You'll see a lot of old West Ham favourites there, and it will be a good way to send off the old stadium in style. We were obviously having an FA Cup replay. That's on the 9th of February. Now that's £20 for members and for season ticket holders, 25 quid for everybody else. Once again, it's excellent value, so another good opportunity to get down there when they go on general sale. Try and get down to that stadium one last time. Consequently, as a result of that, the Southampton match has moved to the 6th of February, which is Saturday. That's going to be live on Sky at about 5 p.m. As I say, I'll be back later on in the week with any transfer news once the deadline day has passed. If you want to follow all the news, everything as it happens, click on Claret and Hugh rescheduled.info. When we sign a player, it will be on there. You can also listen to Sean talk about all the week's goings on more than just a podcast. Our friends over at West Ham Fan TV are interviewing fans as they come out from the game, and some of the best blogs on the internet are on West Ham Till I Die. If you click on the subscribe button over there, you can see more of our videos, including a review of the Liverpool game and, of course, that transfer roundup that I spoke of. And you can also interact with us on hammerschat.boards.net. Right, that's it. I'm off to find that bloke with the Vuvuzela, and I'll see you back here in a couple of days. Goodbye.